There is a sacred place, a place where we face ourselves in the stillness of the night, when the world is silent and the sounds of the day have subsided. At this point, the Stoic philosopher picks up their pen and starts writing in their diary, not to write down the day's insignificant details, but to have a deep conversation with the soul. This is more than just writing. It is a practice of strength, a self-mastery deed, and a fight against the disorder in our own brains. A comprehensive look at Stoic journaling. Stoic journaling is a philosophical activity that aims to develop virtue, resilience, and self-awareness. It is not just a list of personal ideas or a chronicle of everyday events. According to the Stoics, living in harmony with nature and developing the four cardinal virtues, wisdom, justice, bravery, and temperance, were the keys to a happy and satisfying existence. One way to think about these qualities and reinforce them in one's life was to keep a journal. Historical background. Stoicism first appeared as a philosophical movement in ancient Greece and Rome, which is where the tradition of keeping a Stoic notebook originated. Around 300 BCE, Zeno of Citium founded Stoicism, which placed a strong emphasis on living in balance with the universe's natural order. The Stoics held that people may attain eudaimonia, or human flourishing, by developing virtue and intelligence. The lives of several prominent Stoics, such as Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, were significantly influenced by Stoic journaling. Those who aspire to live according to Stoic principles are still inspired and guided by the written records of these thinkers' reflections. The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. The most well-known Stoic journalist is perhaps Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Written during his battles and reign, his Meditations is a compilation of his introspective thoughts. Marcus kept a journal to help him grow spiritually and better himself, but it was not meant for publication. Marcus examined topics including the transience of existence, the value of virtue, and the essence of the self in his Meditations. Marcus kept a very intimate and reflective journaling practice. He used the notebook as a tool to organize his thoughts and develop inner strength as he wrote about his challenges, anxieties, and goals. His observations provide insightful information on the thoughts of a guy juggling the demands of leadership and the difficulties of life. The Letters of Seneca. Among his many written views is Seneca the Younger's Letters from a Stoic, another well-known Stoic philosopher. These letters, written to his friend Lucilius, cover a variety of Stoic topics, including as the value of living in harmony with nature and the essence of virtue. The effectiveness of Stoic journaling as a means of spiritual development and self-improvement is demonstrated by Seneca's letters. Seneca stressed the value of introspection and self-reflection in his letters. He urged his readers to contemplate every day, face their passions and fears, and develop virtue and wisdom in their lives. For people who want to start journaling, Seneca's advice provides insightful advice. Epictetus and his Conversations. The Discourses are a compilation of teachings left by Epictetus, a former slave who rose to become one of Stoicism's greatest instructors. These lessons, which were documented by his pupil Arrian, provide a plethora of Stoic insight and direction towards journaling. Epictetus highlighted how crucial it is to accept the things that are beyond of our control and concentrate on the things that we can influence. He preached that living virtuously and balancing our impulses with nature is the path to ultimate freedom. By encouraging people to examine their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, Epictetus's writing lessons help people develop inner strength and self-awareness. Stoic exercises and journaling methods. Take into consideration the following methods and activities to practice Stoic journaling. The purpose of these thoughts and suggestions is to support you in developing self-awareness, resiliency, and virtue. Daily thoughts. Think back on the day's events, your feelings, and your behavior every evening. Think about the following queries. Which qualities did I put into practice today? What feelings did I go through and how did I react to them? What difficulties did I encounter and how did I resolve them? What lessons can I take away from today's events that will aid in my personal development? Awakening pages. Writing 3 pages of longhand stream of consciousness thoughts every morning is known as morning pages, and it was inspired by Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. Setting goals for the day and clearing the mind are 2 benefits of this practice. From a Stoic standpoint, morning pages can be used to consider the qualities you want to live up to and the difficulties you anticipate encountering. Gratitude diary. Write down the things you are thankful for in a special section of your journal. Think back on all of life's benefits, no matter how minor, and how they affect your general well-being. This exercise fosters an attitude of satisfaction and abundance. Inspiring fear. Fear setting, which was inspired by Tim Ferriss's TED Talk, Why You Should Define Your Fears Instead of Your Goals, is recognizing your concerns and coming up with a strategy to deal with them. Write about your concerns, the possible outcomes of confronting them, and the actions you can take to get over them in your journal. You can face your worries and develop confidence in the face of hardship by doing this practice. Role models. Think about people who exhibit the values and traits you want to develop in your own life. People you know directly, fictional characters or historical personalities can all serve as these role models. Write in your notebook about the traits of these people that you find admirable and how you can try to be like them in your own life. Memento Mori. The Latin expression Memento Mori means remember that you must die. This age-old ritual entails contemplating the transience of existence and the certainty of death. Write in your notebook on the fact that you are mortal and how this knowledge might help you live more completely in the present and prioritize your priorities. Amor Fati. The Latin expression Amor Fati means love of fate, accepting and embracing life's experiences, both good and bad, as important and significant as part of this Stoic approach. Write in your notebook about the difficulties and disappointments you have encountered and how they have aided in your personal development. Intimate tales, narratives of metamorphosis. Take into consideration the following first-hand accounts from people who have embraced the practice to demonstrate the effectiveness of Stoic journaling. John's story. During a time of extreme stress and burnout, John, a busy professional in his mid-30s, came upon Stoic journaling. Despite his innate passion and ambition, the unrelenting speed of his profession left him feeling exhausted and uninspired. John started incorporating Stoic journaling into his daily regimen after being inspired by Marcus Aurelius's works. John thought back on his feelings, his deeds, and the day's events every evening. He questioned himself. Which qualities did I put into practice today? What feelings did I go through and how did I react to them? What difficulties did I encounter and how did I resolve them? What can I take away from today's events that will aid in my own development? John started developing a stronger feeling of resilience and self-awareness as a result of this activity. He observed that his ability to control his stress and remain composed in the face of difficulty had improved. Additionally, he discovered that his priorities started to change, placing more value on well-being and personal development. On one really trying day, John had to have a tough talk with a coworker. Rather than acting without thinking, he paused to consider his feelings and the qualities he wanted to exhibit. In his journal, he wrote, "I had to have a challenging talk with a coworker today. Despite my frustration and anger, I made the decision to react patiently and empathetically. I understood that while I had no control over my colleague's actions, I did have control over how I responded. I was able to handle the circumstance with poise and dignity by exercising the virtue of temperance." John observed a significant change in his life as he kept up his Stoic journaling. He felt stronger, more grounded, and closer to his inner self. He found that his inner development and the pursuit of morality were more important to him than his outward accomplishments. The story of Emily. Emily, a mother of 2 little children, battled overwhelm and anxiety. Despite her profound affection for her family, she found motherhood's obligations to be difficult and frequently draining. Emily chose to embrace the practice of Stoic journaling as a way to develop inner strength and resilience after being inspired by Seneca's writings. Every night, Emily thought back on her day, her feelings, and her behavior. She questioned herself, which qualities did I put into practice today? What feelings did I go through and how did I react to them? What difficulties did I encounter and how did I resolve them? What can I take away from today's events that will aid in my own development? Emily started to develop a stronger sense of self-awareness and self-compassion as a result of this practice. She understood that she had the ability to react to her feelings in a wise and moral way, and that they were normal reactions to the difficulties of motherhood. Emily experienced a particularly trying day when she felt overburdened by the responsibilities of caring for her 2 sick children. Rather than losing patience and frustration, she paused to consider her feelings and the qualities she wanted to exhibit. In her journal, she wrote, I had the difficult task of taking care of 2 ill kids today. Despite my feelings of exhaustion and overwhelm, I decided to react patiently and compassionately. I understood that while I had no control over my children's disease, I did have control over how I responded to it. I was able to handle the circumstance with poise and dignity by exercising the virtue of temperance. Emily observed a significant change in her life as she kept up her Stoic journaling. She felt stronger, more in control, and closer to her inner self. She learned that her inner development and the pursuit of virtue were more important to her than her exterior circumstances. The strength of community. Although keeping a Stoic notebook is an extremely private activity, it can also be enhanced by interacting with a group of people who share similar values. You can expand your knowledge of Stoic concepts and get fresh viewpoints by talking to others about your struggles, experiences, and insights. Think about participating in an online or live Stoic journaling community or group. In addition to offering chances for responsibility and inspiration, these organizations can offer a safe and encouraging setting for investigating Stoic concepts and methods. Within a community of Stoic journalers, you can talk to people about your thoughts and observations, consult more seasoned practitioners for advice and comments, take part in intellectual debates and conversations, engage in group activities and exercises, create enduring relationships and friendships with people who share your values. Guided journaling exercises for Stoicism. Take into consideration the following guided tasks to get you started with Stoic journaling. The purpose of these thoughts and suggestions is to support you in developing self-awareness, resiliency, and virtue. Number 1. Awakening thoughts. Setting an intention for the day and thinking about the qualities you want to exhibit are the first steps in this activity. You can match your thoughts and behaviors with your highest values and goals by starting your day with purpose and intention. Which qualities would you like to exhibit today? What difficulties do you foresee? And how can you meet them with discernment and morality? What actions can you do to foster eudaimonia and live in harmony with nature? Number 2. The citadel inside. According to the Stoics, the mind can act as an inner citadel, a stronghold within of us where we can hide from the chaos of the outside world and find comfort in our own goodness and strength. This practice entails developing inner resilience and thinking about the idea of the inner citadel. For you, what does the inner fortress stand for? In order to make your inner fortress more impervious to hardship, how might you fortify its walls? When faced with obstacles and failures, what routines and habits can you develop to assist you retreat to your inner citadel? Number 3. Premeditation of evils. This practice entails thinking about possible setbacks and misfortunes, no matter how minor. You may psychologically and emotionally get ready for any obstacles that may come up by picturing the worst-case scenarios. You can develop resilience and composure in the face of hardship by engaging in this activity. What are some possible future setbacks or calamities that you might encounter? What mental and emotional preparation can you make for these challenges? What character traits and attributes can you work on developing to help you handle these challenges with poise and dignity? Number 4. Visualization of negativity. This exercise is visualizing losing something that is important to you, such as a loved one, your health, or your belongings. This may sound depressing, but it's a reminder to be grateful for what you have and to live each day in the present. You may develop gratitude and contentment in your life by doing this activity. What aspects of your life do you think you may take for granted? If these items were abruptly taken away from you, how would you feel and handle it? What actions can you take to develop a deeper sense of thankfulness and appreciation for the things that you have in your life? Number 5. As seen from above. This activity challenges you to view the world and your life from a wider angle. Imagine being able to observe the world from a distance while observing the innumerable lives taking place below. Think about how insignificant your own life is in the greater scheme of things, and how this viewpoint might assist you in letting go of trivial worries and concentrating on leading a moral life. What areas of your life seem most important from this perspective? Given that they are trivial in the big picture, what anxieties and fears can you let go of? How can you think and act in a way that is consistent with the universe's natural order? Stoic journaling is much more than a simple diary. It is a transformative practice that can profoundly influence your understanding of both yourself and the world around you. It takes structured reflection and immersion into essential Stoic philosophies and dedication. With the insight provided by both the provided vignettes and timeless guidance of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and others, You will find unparalleled growth, which over time presents character, penetrating revelations drawn through diligent personal study, and reverence for this time-tested practice of Stoic journaling. Travel this path not to follow, but to find the ancient philosophers who preserve this guidance very well in potential self-transformational discovery.